we need some functionality. We need a way to calculate clicks per second, and we also need a way to buy these things. So let's work on the calculation. Set over into our game instance. Inside here, we're gonna add a new function. This function is gonna be called calculate CPS. Now, calculate CPS is not gonna be too horrible. We are gonna have to add a new variable here though. So we are gonna add a shop entry struct, store entry or whatever. Store entry struct. It's gonna be a array. And this is where our main array is. So this is gonna be linked to our store later on. We're gonna get that. We're gonna do a for each loop out of it. We're gonna make a new local variable. We're gonna call this one current CPS. Again, a float single. We're gonna break the array element on each of these passes that we go through. We're gonna set our current CPS to current CPS, and we're gonna do the amount owned multiplied by the CPS of the item, current CPS plus, and that is our math done for the current cookies per second. So each of these entries, it's going to go through them and then set the current CPS and add it together. Once it is done, we can set our CPS to be that of our current CPS, the local variable. Once that is done, we can return. Now that is done. Let us head back into our interface, into our store entry. And over here, we want to override another function. We're going to override on mouse button down. So out of here, we're going to do out of mouse event, we're going to do is mouse button down, just to make sure that it's the left mouse button that we are pressing. If that is false, we can return with a handled, or if that is true, we're going to buy the item. So let's add a new function. We're going to call buy item. So out of buy item, we're going to get our href. We're going to get the store. We're going to get the quantity to buy. We're going to get our store entry struct. We're going to break that open. We're going to get the cost multiply that with the selected quantity to buy. Then we're also going to get our href once more above that, get the game instance, get the cookies that we have. And check if the cookies that we have is greater or equal to the calculation from that. That goes into a branch down there. This is not true, we're not going to do anything. However, if this is true, we're going to make a buy item function in our cookie game instance as well. So buy item, it's just the call is coming from the store entry. So out of this one, we need a couple inputs. We need a item struct. What did we call that? Store. Hang on. Entry struct. Store entry struct. There we go. I'm gonna name that item. And then I'm also going to have another one, which is going to be quantity, which is an integer, and a simple return. I'm going back here into the store entry, just so I can finish this before I start adding that, adding the code. I'm going to get the game instance out of the branch onto true. We're going to get the game instance. We're going to search for buy item, the one that we just made. And what item do we want to buy? We want to buy this item. And the quantity that we want to buy is the selected quantity to buy. Like so. Once this is done, we are going to set the cookies. So we could actually do that inside of our game instance. We're going to do it here. Doesn't matter where we do it. We're going to get where is our game instance? There we go. Get our game instance. Get our cookies. Set our cookies to be that of our cookies minus the outcome of this indentation over there. So let's see if we can make this a bit tidier. Do not think we will though. Oh, there we go. That's good enough. And then once that is done, we can have a return node of success. And check that. And this one is done. I'm going to set that to be green. We are done with this here. Now we can go into our buy item. First, we're going to promote these local. So item local. And quantity local. We're going to get our shop entry struct. I'm going to set array element. How are we going to do this actually? Yeah. So we're going to get our shop entry struct. Going to do a find item out of that. The item that we're going to try to find is our item local. Then we're going to get our struct again. We're going to get a copy where we found our item. We're going to break open our copy. Then up here where we set array element, the index is the one that we found it on. Like so. Break open the item. Name is the name, icon is the icon. The cost is going to be changed. The unlocked is going to be checked. The amount owned is going to be changed. The CPS is not going to be changed. And it's going to be sized to fit. Now, the cost, I'm going to set up an arbitrary increase number here. You can change this to be anything you want. I'm going to do cost multiplied. I'm going to do it by 1.4. So it's going to go up by 1.4 each time you do this, each time you buy it. Right? And then I'm going to do amount owned, which is going to be amount owned plus the quantity local that we are buying. That is our next, our amount owned. Now we need a way to save this because we haven't actually set up our save game yet. So inside of our cookie instance, we're going to make a new custom event. I'm going to call this one save game. So out of save game, we are going to going to get our save game object. We're going to set the where is it? Set the bakery save struct. Set it to the CPS, the cookies, the name, and also we need to add some stuff here, right? So we got our cookies per second, we got our name, and we got our cookies. However, now we also want to add the shop entry struct, this one right here. So we need to head over into our save. Actually, remove your previous save game every time you do something with the save. Bakery save struct, everything's fine there. It's not the struct that we're going to make it in, it's the... No, it is the struct that we're going to make it in, I mean. The bakery save struct. In here, we're going to add a new variable. It's going to be the shop and store entry. We call it shop entry somewhere. It's going to be unlocked. What did that change? I don't know. Wait, did we have unlocked here? No, we didn't. I added a different one. There we go. And now this is going to be the store entries. That is going to be a array. Like the save game object, this one should be updated now. Everything's fine. And now this one gets plugged into there. Then we can get our save game object again and save that game to slot. Our slot is cookie, I believe. Yeah, cookie. That is fine. Save game. Change that to greenish as well. It's not completely done, so it's not getting a full green. Right, so now we're saving it. Back to the store entry. Back to our buy item. Once we have bought the item, we want to save game. Not that one. We want to save game the function that we just made. Because that is all we can return. Let's go over our store entry. We click on the mouse button down. There we go. Mouse button down. If it's false, we're going to return with that. Or if it's true, then we're going to buy item. If that is false, I'm going to return again. Or if that is true, I'm going to get our HUD ref. I'm going to get our game instance ref. We're going to calculate CPS. We're going to get our HUD ref. We're going to initialize stats, which we haven't set up yet. Let's go into our HUD for a quick second. We're going to make a new custom event at the end here. I'm going to call this one initialize stats. And we are actually going to move our generate store items down. Plug that in there. And on our initialize, we're also going to move down our initialize stats. Down there. So these ones are going to stay up there. When we initialize stats, we want to initialize stats, obviously. And we want to get our store. We want to get the store items. Actually, we want to set the store items. And we want to set the store items to that of the game instance. So we need to get game instance. Get HUD. Wait, we are in the HUD. What am I doing? Get store shop entry struct. There we go. That is what it's going to be set to. We are setting the HUD ref there, so we shouldn't have to set it here. Then we can generate the store items once that is done, like so. At this initialize up here, we're actually going to add a sequence. So we're going to do the save game first, and then we're going to do HUD ref. Do we have any HUD ref here? No, we don't. So I'm going to do HUD ref. I'm going to do WEP HUD, and we are actually going to do a little bit differently than I was planning. This one is going to be on number 2. On 0, we're going to get all widgets of class. Class is our HUD. Top level only is fine. We're going to get a copy of this first one. And then we're going to set our HUD ref to be that. Then we're going to check out from the return value of our HUD ref if that is valid. If that is not valid, we're going to add a delay 0.01 and then head back into our get all widgets. Like so. Or if it is valid, then we're going to move on. So we're actually going to do it like this. This is our initialize. What we can do is actually custom event initialize saves. Then let's add a tick function as well real fast. So we're going to go down here and we're going to do a custom event tick initialize. After tick initialize, we're going to do a do once. We're going to do a 2-second delay on this one. Once that is done, we're going to do a custom event called this one tick. So we're going to call tick from after a delay. Out from tick, we're going to do a delay of 1 second. We're going to set cookies to be equal to that of cookies plus, not the increment, sorry, plus the CPS. Once this is done, we can get our HUD ref, we can get our stats, and we can call our update, and then finally go back to our tick again. We can comment this out. Initiates timer then ticks. Initiate timer then ticks. This one is done. Great. Let's go. Now we need to call this. So out of then 1, we're going to do a tick initialize. And then we can do a, let's just do a initialize saves at the end of this one. There we go. It started up there and it should be good to go. In the next one, we are going to be adding our time and date functions and communicating with the internet. So stay tuned for that. that's going to be that's going to tie a lot of this together so we can actually keep moving forward as well. Okay, until next one. See you later. Bye-bye.